Okay. Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Guang Liang Pen. I'm the Registration Service Manager at AFRINIC. I would like to give you a quick update on the policy proposals in the AFRINIC region. We have 5 proposals discussed at the AFRINIC 48 in September. They are POC 124, clarification on sub-assignments, and POC 126, PDP update, and POC 130, modification of transfer policies, and POC 131, additional change in IPv6 policy. And the last one is POC 132, RPKI rollouts for unallocated and unassigned AFRINIC address space. And it was called AS0 for Bogans. And out of these 5 policy proposals, only 2 reached the consensus at the AFRINIC 40A conference. The first one is POC 131, arbitrary change in IPv6 policy. This is a very simple one. It just proposed to modify some text to make the policy document more simple and clear. And so it reached the consensus without a problem. And now it also still with my consensus in the final command period. Now it's waiting for the AFRINIC EC to endorse. And the second policy proposal, which the consensus is the POC 132, RPKI rollers for unallocated and unassigned AFRINIC address space. This was very important proposal. It's a proposal to give AFRINIC authority to create AS0 to like encode those unallocated and unassigned IP address space. The community believes this is very good intention to prevent people to use the unallocated or unassigned space. And however, they also raise some concerns on the risk of the technical and legal problems. But over the discussion, the community finally agree and also reached the consensus in the meeting and also in the mailing list. Now is waiting for the April EC endorsement. There's one policy proposal didn't reach consensus, put back to the further discussion, is the POC 130. Is modified for the transfer policy. Currently, AFRINIC announced IPv4 and AS number transfer between the IRs, means the inter-IR transfer, but not allow the IPv6 transfer. And this policy proposal aims to actually allow all the resource can be transferred between AFRINIC members and also inter-IRs. And it didn't reach consensus. So it's probably up to the author to see if he want to. And there were 2 policy proposals didn't reach consensus and has been abandoned. They are 124 and POC 126. Yeah. And I probably won't talk about them because they has been abandoned. Yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?
Judy. I am the author of most of those policy proposals, and I want to tell something about those two. I didn't abandon them. The chairs decided that they should be abandoned, but I am going to send a new version. Make sure about that.
Thank you very much,
Judy. Any questions?
Well, it's good that the author is here. He wasn't the one that abandoned it, it was the chair, but I wanted to find out how long did it take for these proposals to be abandoned? How long were those proposals on the table in AFRINIC before they were abandoned by the co-chairs?
How long?
The period these proposals were under discussion
Is this
with the community, in the community, sorry. How long was it?
How
he said
long?
one and a half years.
I think 1.5 years. I think, yeah, Judy answered it, 1.5 years.
Okay.
It is based on the number. If that number is small, that is a bit older.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.5
I just
years.
wanted to see how long it took for it to be abandoned.
1.5
Thank you.
years.
Thank you very much. Go on, please.
Okay.
Okay, mine is on.
Can you state your name and affiliation?
Okay, sorry, my name is Chris from Nigeria. I work in National Assembly in Nigeria. Sorry, can I see your third slide? There is something you said that I would like to make a suggestion. The next slide, my previous, we are talking about editing of, removing of some text on the policies, some statement. Is it the first slide?
Which
Okay,
one? Which one you want to see?
What I'm saying is, I saw where you are making a proposal of removing some text.
Text,
and
the text one, I think, is the first one. They just change
editorial changes.
Yeah, change some text to make it more simple in the policy document.
Yeah, I am also saying, I think somebody have made a similar comment like that initially, that when you are talking about editing text or things some sentence you think they are not, they are not really ambiguous, but not useful. You also have to be careful because there are some times when you make a change on some semantics, it will cause an issue. So whatever you are editing, it would be better to bring it up openly where people will look at it, because you might think that removing is or was is not important, but you have changed the contents of discussion. So that will be very thing you have to be very careful about. Please.
Jody,
Okay,
sorry,
I think
the mic
Jody is going
closed.
to answer your questions. He is the one proposed the change. And if you want to look at all the change and the details, you can go to the AFRINIC website. There's a detail on that policy proposal and all the changes. But Judy can answer you probably directly now.
Jody, you have 30 seconds.
I think it will be faster if we do turn on and off the microphone every time. Basically, to give you one example, there is here an equivalent policy proposal very close to this one. So you will see the discussion, I think, is today for this one. But what happened basically is that the IPv6 policy in all the regions comes from the same source that was developed jointly before AFRINIC and LACNIC existed by ARIN, RIPE, and APNIC. And for example, there was some text that was saying, because we don't have operational experience with IPv6, we should not do that. And we now have that experience. So having that text is not useful. So when I submit a policy proposal, of course, the community provides additional contributions, and I can make something broken, but I try to avoid breaking anything. So in most of the cases, it's not just editorial changes, because if it's editorial changes, even the staff could do that. For example, if there is a misspelling or something, okay? But this is really changes that after a few years, policies get outdated. So we need to fix that. It happens all the time. I mean, policy is a live system and we need to update because things change. Operational, let's say, operational aspects change that imply we need to change policies.
Thank you very much. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Thank you.
So we'll take from other RIRs, which is going to be presented by AFRINIC staff.
Good morning, Madhvi Gokul. I'll show the slides for the proposals that are being discussed, the RIRs, proposals proposed by the RIR community due to the absence of on-site presence, due to, any RIR representative being absent from this meeting here today. So at AFRIN, they have a policy proposal regarding the reserved pool replenishment. And in that proposal, resources allocated from a reserve pool that are returned, reclaimed, or revoked will be returned to the reserve pool they were originally allocated from, regardless of the current level of each pool. The second policy proposal is regarding IPv6. So the proposal specifies for AFRIN to require that those who receive transferred IPv4 space to have in place an operational IPv6 network. There's an inter-RIR merger and acquisition policy proposal being discussed at AFRIN. When a merger or an acquisition results in a surviving legal entity that is incorporated outside the AFRIN service region or focused outside the AFRIN service region, or is merging with an organization that already has a relationship with another RIR, then resources may be moved to another RIR in accordance with the receiving RIR's policies. They also have another policy proposal regarding mergers and acquisition, legal jurisdiction exclusion. This merger and acquisition activity resulting in a surviving legal entity not incorporated in the AFRIN service region will be permitted to hold number resources directly allocated or assigned by AFRIN. There are more policy proposals in the AFRIN region, but we selected a few that were of similar proposals in the AFRINIC service region. In the RIPE NCC, so they have a policy proposal regarding validation of abuse mailbox. The proposal introduces a way for abuse contacts in the RIPE database to be validated. Another proposal regarding the default assignment size for Internet exchange points. The proposal changes the default IXP assignment size from a /24 to a needs-based model with a /27 as a minimum prefix. At LACNIC, they have also quite a few proposals under discussion. They have the first one being the RPKI ASN 0 ROA. This proposal recommends for LACNIC to issue ASN 0 ROAs for unallocated and assigned address blocks as a method to indicate that route announcements of such blocks should not be accepted by networks using the RPKI routing or origin validation. A second proposal regarding the elimination of the ASN requirement for end users. The proposal eliminates current requirement for end users to have an AS in order to make use of addresses they are assigned, since most such entities, in fact, do not need an ASN in the first place. LACNIC also has a registration and validation of abuse contact policy proposal, which introduces a way for abuse contacts in the LACNIC database to be validated. Another proposal, it regards the modification of the time required for a proposal to be presented at a public policy forum. So the proposal modifies LACNIC's PDP, extending the discussion period required for presenting a proposal at a public meeting from 1 week to 3 weeks. And they have the acceptable use policy for the policy list proposal, that seeks to implement an acceptable use policy for the LACNIC policy discussions mailing list, as no such document currently exists. They also have a proposal regarding the PDP chair election procedure. The proposal establishes some changes to the current PDP chair election procedure in the LACNIC region. So thank you very much for your attention. I don't think I can take questions on behalf of the other RIRs, but their policy proposals are documented on their website. If you want to know more about these policy proposals, please feel free